All right, so week 2 is almost at a close, and as of right now, we have 7 teams that are standing at 2-0. The question that we need to get to the bottom of here is, are these undefeated teams the real deal, or do we maybe need to consider it's only week 2? Let's hold our horses. Let's not put them before the cart. So this segment is called Real Deal or Slow, Bro. All right, first up, we have the Raiders. Do you think the Raiders are the real deal or slow, bro?
I think the Raiders are the real deal. Big reason why is they've had two, I guess you could consider them upsets. I don't think anybody really expected them to beat the Steelers. I know nobody I know expected them to beat the Ravens. Like Derek Carr, he's hurt. He's questionable going into the next game, but he's real, man. He's solid. He's looking good. He's looking like the guy who was there before he fractured his leg, 4 years ago or 5 years ago or whatever. He's oh my god, he's slinging it. I'm trying to hold back on the swear words because of how raunchy it is for me to watch him play, but I'm impressed. I'm
Yeah,
impressed, man. So I would say the real deal.
I agree, actually. The biggest takeaway for me from the Raiders was surprisingly their defense. We knew their offense could cook. We saw them cook a little bit last year. Their defense was consistently their weak point, and they made the Ravens' offensive line look really bad. And I
Oh
mean
yeah.
really bad, like
Oh yeah.
panic levels of bad. So I'm going real deal as well. Broncos are up
Broncos.
next.
Oof.
Broncos. I'm gonna hit you with the slow bro on
Yeah.
that one. I get it. I get it. Their defense looks very good, and they have Teddy Bridgewater, who is arguably one of the best game managers in football. Is he a playmaker? I don't know, but he
No,
manages games. He
not at all.
manages games.
I'm going to answer your question. He's not a playmaker.
So, does this team have potential to take a lot of unexpected wins this year? Absolutely. But am I willing to commit and say that they're the real deal at this point? Absolutely not. What do you think?
No, dude, I am fully off the Broncos bandwagon. Sorry to my buddy Jeff, who also listened to our podcast week one. He's a huge Broncos fan, and there's 0% chance that I'm riding that high with that Broncos fan base, man. I mean, Denver, yeah, legal marijuana, take in while you can, guys, but that's the highest it'll be for you guys this season. Not a huge fan of the fact that they beat the Jags and the Giants, both weak teams. I can't say much about the Giants because obviously, my team struggled against them, but I think it said more about Washington than about the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ask me, absolutely not. Slow, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Relax yourself. They are not going to be a team that's for real. Even if they go like 5-2 to start the season, which I don't expect,
Mm-hmm.
not a chance. They're I don't even think they're making playoffs this year. Man, so honestly, I am a huge fan of the next teams that we're looking at here, or the next team that we're looking at here. We're talking about the San Francisco 49ers. And call me crazy, but Jimmy Garoppolo is starting to take my heart, man. Starting to make me get a little fluttery on the inside, little excited when I hear that name. Whoo, get some shivers. So I'm enjoying what they're doing. They're not as hit by injuries this year as they were last year. I think the 49ers would have been a competitive team last year, but they were just everybody was hurt. The coaches were hurt, the players were hurt, the mothers and fathers were hurt. Everybody on that team was struggling to stay on the field. So I truly think between, Kyle Shanahan's offensive scheme, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan's strong drafting over the past couple of years, and like all these dumb mind games that I don't appreciate by Shanahan, they also seem to work on the rest of the league too. So I'm a big fan of the 49ers. I think they're the real deal. I think that going forward, they're going to be a nightmare to deal with, even if Trey Lance comes in for Jimmy Garoppolo. What about you? How you feel about it?
I have a slow bro for the 49ers. I know that may be a little bit controversial, but when I look at that division, I am looking at the Cardinals, I am looking at the Seahawks, and I am looking at the Rams, and I am seeing talent in that division. And first off, I would not be surprised if that entire division is competing for the playoffs at the end of the year, right? But
Yeah.
when I look at the 49ers, so far what we've seen is we've seen a game against the Lions, which should have and was a blowout. The end of that game concerned me. The fact that that got uncomfortably close when that should have been a full blowout all the way through, I really wanted to see them close that out and see it through. The Eagles game as well. The Eagles were surprisingly effective against them, especially the Eagles defense. So I think it's been two weaker opponents yet. I think the 49ers are in the conversation, but I want to see them against some strong teams. I especially want to see how they're going to fare against their division opponents before I commit to real deal. So I'm slow bro for them for now.
So you're slow, bro. Slow, bro. No, you got to commit to it.
I'm
you got
slow
to
bro.
commit to
I'm
it.
slow bro for
and
them right now.
then when they turn it around and you're eating crow, you got to flat out be like, all right, I was wrong.
I have Rams winning that division, and from what I've seen so far, I have Seattle taking the number 2.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I'm not a big Seattle guy here, so I think it's going to be Rams, Niners, and then Cardinals, and then Seattle. I think Seattle's the worst.
Great transition there, actually. The Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
So the Cardinals, I'm a little bit mixed on right now. I thought that their first 2 games were impressive. Obviously, the Tennessee game, I don't think anyone really saw that coming. Tennessee is a much better team than they showed in that game. I've seen some good things out of the Cardinals to make me question now, well, who in that division is really going to be the one to win it? Who are going to be the ones that take the wild cards? I do believe at least one wild card will be taken by that division. But we've seen this in years before where the Cardinals looked like a really good team, but were overshadowed by the just raw amount of talent in that division. So for me, I'm at slow bro for the Cardinals, potential, but still nervous. What about you?
I am also a slow bro for the Cardinals. I'm a huge Kyler Murray guy. I love Kyler Murray. I think he's great. I love what he does off the field. I love his interviews. He's very candid. He's very truthful. But I got to immediately lower them in my rankings after he admitted he had never seen Star Wars his whole life. So, beyond that, though, I think it's a slow bro for me just because the Cardinals looked hot to start the year last year. And Kyler has a propensity to throw picks. Mm-hmm. He's still got these kind of turnover issues where I'd like to see him have less turnovers. And then with the Cardinals defense taking a bit of a step back this week, not the biggest fan of the idea that this could be the team to take over the NFC West.
The Vikings really took it to their defense like I expected the Titans to do.
They should have lost the game. They shouldn't even be in this conversation. They should have lost. It was a chip shot field goal that was missed. So
Up next, we have, this is a very popular division, we have the Rams. This one for me, I think Rams are a Super Bowl favorite. I have them as the real deal.
Yeah, no, dude, we don't even have to talk about it too much. I think the Rams are, other than the Bucks, probably my favorite NFC team for the Super Bowl. And I don't think it's even close with anybody else. They're both in a tier of their own.
Cooper Kupp is going off with Matt Stafford.
Apparently they eat breakfast together every morning, and they've been doing that for like 2 months or something. So honestly, it's showing on the field.
The Matt Stafford upgrade on Jared Goff, I really do think that was the piece that the Rams needed to be a serious Super Bowl contender.
Absolutely. And in my opinion, it's the best quarterback coaching combination in the NFL, other than this next team that's on our list, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Once again, real deal. They did it last year, and they're not the best team in the league. I genuinely don't think that they're the best team in the league. I didn't think they were the best team in the league last year. I think they just got hot at the right time. So I fully am under the impression that they can replicate what they did last year because the team is the exact same. Everybody's the same. They're just in the same system for another year. And Tom Brady's out here, 40 – how old is it? 40-12. He's 100 million years old now.
He's up there.
He's from the prehistoric era. You know what I mean? And he's out here throwing 5 touchdowns in a game still. Like, it's bananas that's happening. So I'm pretty bullish on them. Real deal. What say you, Sir Rob?
I am very bullish. I have them as being a real deal. Also a Super Bowl contender. People do forget though. Last year they were 6-5. They turned their season around, went 5 straight, and then basically went 4 straight, I would guess, to get to the Super Bowl and win it. They were playing against a depleted Chiefs. I don't have them as the number 1 power ranking like a lot of people do. I'm surprised. I think that's a lot of recency bias and just they won the Super Bowl, so they're the most powerful, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think they're the best team. I think that they're a top 5. Definitely a Super Bowl contender. definitely the real deal. The Falcons game did get a little bit uncomfortably close. I think the Falcons got within 3 points at one point, but then the Buccaneers just nope, you're done. You're
Just
done.
totally took off.
Bye
Yeah,
bye.
between Mike Evans
Yeah.
and Chris Godwin's last touchdown, I mean,
Yeah.
you couldn't stop them.
And
They
that's
were
what I
elite.
like to see. I like to see when a bad team starts sneaking up on you, you just put your foot down and you say this is
You
not
break
happening.
away.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
always a good sign. Real deal.
yeah, yeah.
This next one is going to be contentious. I can just tell. The Panthers. I'll let you go first.
No, 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 no. You got to go first because I got to tell
Okay.
everybody why
Okay.
you're wrong.
Okay. I have the Panthers are the real deal. Now that is a piping hot take right there. I think that this team is the dark horse, or I guess you would say dark cat. Now, last year they did go 5-11, but it's important to remember that during one of the 2 or 3 games that Christian McCaffrey was actually in the league last year, they went blow for blow with the Kansas City Chiefs and lost at the very last minute to them. Most of their games were within one score where they ended up losing. I think that last year was probably not a good indicator of what this team is capable of. I think that their defense is looking better this year. They have Christian McCaffrey, who we have to remember is the ultimate workhorse of the league. He is the number 1 fantasy football pickup in almost every single league. He is a workhorse. He does it all. He is the running back. He is the pass catching back. Big workhorse. Losing him last year was significant, and I believe a big factor of them being 5-11. And I question, if Christian McCaffrey is in those games, do you lose 6 or 7 games to one score? Or is he the difference? Is he capable of getting you that one more score? So I have them being the real deal. They're the dark cat. I'm coining that now. Put a little trademark next to that. What do you say, Zach?
I think you need to slow down, bro. I think you need to relax yourself because yes, Christian McCaffrey did not play last year pretty much at all, and I get that he is the most explosive part of their offense. But McCaffrey at a part of the game, this past game, had to have his leg checked out because he was having cramps and this, that, and the other thing, which at the end of the day, it's just cramps. It's a hydration issue, but it's just a reminder that he's had so many carries on his name. He's a small guy, and yeah, he's bigger than he was, but he can't keep taking the workload that he's taking. Also, it's Sam Darnold. Yeah, he was the 3rd overall pick or 2nd overall pick, whatever he was a few years ago.
I don't remember.
I think he was the 3rd overall pick for the Jets. He had all the potential in the world. He had all this and that and the other thing, and everybody always stuck up for him. But the guy makes bad decisions, and that's the truth. And I understand he's trying to minimize those bad decisions, but I think ultimately, with the strength of schedule being not very strong for the Panthers, and they beat 2 teams of whom I'm not sold on the Jets at all. I mean, I wasn't earlier this year.
The Jets is the Jets, as Judy
Yeah,
said.
they're still a top or a bottom 5.
Yeah.
I was gonna say a top 5 bottom team, but that's not correct. That's not how you say that.
Mhm.
They're a bottom 5 team in the NFL, and the Saints. My man Jameis was not so good, but the whole team was bad.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of wonder, did he catch the Saints on a bad day? Did that defense catch the Saints on a bad day? I mean, that defense is pretty strong in Carolina, and I agree with you on that, but I don't think that they're the real deal at all. I think that I need to see more out of the offense. I need to see them explode for 50 points. You know what I mean? With all the talent that they have there between CMC, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Terrace Marshall, they have all these different guys who are super crazy good athletes and dominant, and haven't seen enough out of that offense yet. So I think you need to slow yourself.
I will completely agree with you on the fact that if Christian McCaffrey goes down with an injury, that will flip this completely. We're on the same page there. They need CMC to stay healthy to stay in that real deal status for me.
Okay, fair enough. Walk it back enough so where you can stay later on. Just kidding.